To start the week, we discussed the remarkable story of breakdancing legend Rachel Gunn, otherwise known as Raygun, otherwise known as Dr. Raygun. As you recall, Dr. Raygun is the Australian PhD and university lecturer who somehow made it to the Olympics as a breakdancer. Her performance at the Olympics was so terrible that it made her easily the most famous breakdancer in the world. In fact, she's the only famous breakdancer in the world. Now, just to refresh all of our memories, let's watch a few moments of Dr. Raygun's performance once again. There it is. Truly an inspiring display. It proves that anyone can make it to the Olympics. Literally anyone at all. Anyway, we started the week with this story, so it's fitting and symmetrical, I think, that we end with it. After enduring mockery from the whole world, and probably other planets too, if they're able to pick up our TV signals, Dr. Raygun has come out and issued a statement now. Now, you might think that she'd be perhaps a bit contrite and humbled. Maybe she'd admit that performing in the Olympics was not the right decision. She wasn't ready for that stage or any stage. And so she's decided to retire from being a really bad breakdancer and focus instead on being a really bad college professor. That's one approach that she might have taken. Another approach, and the one that I probably would have tried if I was her, is to claim that it was all a joke. This was just some Andy Kaufman-esque performance art. She was trolling the world with her breakdancing. Now, I'm not sure how believable that would be, but I, for one, would want to believe it. Like, I would have bought that because I'd want to believe it. That's the kind of thing that I would do if I somehow was given the chance to be in the Olympics. I mean, to troll on the Olympic level is a dream of mine. That is my ultimate dream. And she could have said that that was her intent and you know, maybe gotten away with it, but she didn't say that either. Instead, she did the only thing that a liberal woman would ever think to do in this kind of situation or in any other situation. She made herself the victim.
Hi everyone, Raygun here. I just want to start by thanking all the people who have supported me. I really appreciate the positivity and I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped. I didn't realize that that would also open the door to so much hate, which has frankly been pretty devastating. Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously. I worked my butt off preparing for the Olympics and I gave my all, truly. I'm honoured to have been a part of the Australian Olympic team and to be part of breaking's Olympic debut. What the other athletes have achieved has just been phenomenal. I'm going to be in Europe for a few weeks for some pre-planned downtime, but I'd really like to ask the press to please stop harassing my family, my friends, the Australian breaking community and the broader street dance community. Everyone has been through a lot as a result of this, so I ask you to please respect their privacy. I'll be happy to answer more questions on my return to Australia. Thanks, everyone.
So out of all the approaches she could have taken, she chose the worst one. First of all, she says that she worked her butt off and tried really hard and took it very seriously. Listen, Dr. Raygun, don't you understand? That just makes it so much worse. You mean to tell us that was you trying? Trying to do what exactly? Like, this is like if I go to an Italian restaurant and they serve me undercooked spaghetti and lukewarm tomato sauce out of a can, and I complain and the cook comes out of the kitchen in tears, promising he tried his hardest and took it really seriously. Well, now I'm still mad about the terrible food, but I'm also sad. So all you've done is added a dose of sadness into the mix. It has not improved anything. I'd rather that Dr. Raygun confess that she wasn't trying at all and didn't practice. Like, she should have said, hey guys, yeah, wow, that sucked. Like, honestly, I didn't practice at all. I totally forgot I had the Olympics until the night before. I was going to practice, but then I got drunk instead. Totally hungover during that performance. I mean, really, I should get a gold medal for spinning on my head when I had a migraine. I would have respected her so much more if she had said that. Instead, she demands an A for effort, which just isn't how it works in the Olympics. or anywhere else in life, frankly. Nobody cares how hard you worked. All that matters is the final product. That's it. It's one of the most important life lessons and one that Dr. Raygun has yet to learn. But I think the big takeaway from this story is something else. Yes, it shows how the Olympics are increasingly becoming a joke. Yes, the fact that this woman is a university professor and had a PhD is yet more evidence that the university system is and has been for a long time an enormous joke. But those are kind of secondary points. The most important point is this. She thought she was good at this. She really thought she was good. It's clear that Dr. Raygun is shocked by all the criticism. She never imagined that anyone would do anything but applaud. She is blindsided. She thought that we would see her flopping around on stage like some sort of large catfish and be stunned by her beauty and prowess. She thought we would clap and wipe tears away and say, that's the most beautiful flopping catfish I've ever seen. She was truly and absolutely confident in her abilities. That's what we've learned here. And how could that be? How could she have thought that was good? Well, because nobody in her life ever told her that she sucks at this. She's been breakdancing for years. I think we heard in an interview that since like 2007 or something like that. And nobody, not her husband, not her parents, not her friends, nobody in the breakdancing community, I guess, nobody pulled her aside and said, listen, Rach, you are really bad at this. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. You're committing a genocide of my eyeballs every time you force me to watch this. You need to stop, Rachel. You gotta stop. Nobody ever said that to her. I mean, I blame her husband. It's kind of like Jill Biden. I blame so much for the fact that her husband is falling apart in front of the world as president, and it's the same thing. I blame the husband here in a big way, because even if he didn't, I mean, I have to imagine at some point the wife would have said to the husband, "Hey, let me show you my Olympic routine. Like before I perform the Olympics, you want to see my routine?" And the husband would have said, "Yeah, show it to me." And then she's doing all of that and hopping like a kangaroo and he's just sitting there like, oh my God, oh dear God, oh no, oh no. But he didn't say it, he didn't tell her that. And this is a major problem in our society. False confidence is endemic. There are millions of people running around thinking that they're good at things that they aren't good at, which means that they'll never discover what they are good at. This unearned, misplaced, delusional confidence is a problem everywhere in society, but nowhere more than in any kind of artistic or creative pursuit. Because to be successful creatively is to be very honest with yourself. Successful creative people who are actually good at being creative, are brutally honest with themselves and painfully aware of their own shortcomings. That's what it takes to be great. Right? And if they put something out into the world creatively and people don't like it, their reaction is like, yeah, okay, I can see why you didn't like it. Because, you noticed that and that and that problem? Yeah, yep. Yeah, I know it. You're right. I can tell you that as someone who has written 4 books, made 2 movies, a TV show, a daily podcast, nobody could ever be more critical of my stuff than I am. I intensely scrutinize everything I do. I rip it all to shreds. Anyone who's worked with me creatively on anything, especially a long form project, knows this. I'm never satisfied with any of it. There are a million things I always want to change and fix. Now, this attitude may not be the most emotionally or psychologically healthy. It is not a recipe for ignorant bliss or happiness in general, but you do have to engage in a degree, I think a rather large degree, of self-criticism if you ever want to create anything or do anything worthwhile. Now, the flip side is that Raygun, before appearing on the Olympics, was probably very happy. I mean, think about it. In her mind, she was a gifted scholar, a brilliant academic, a great teacher, and an incredible dancer. So she had it all. She had athleticism, creativity, intelligence. She was the perfect package. And she believed that about herself. Imagine how happy a person would be if they lived in a fantasy world where they're good at everything. It's enough that you might even be tempted to recommend a life of flattering delusion because it can make you so happy. But The problem is that eventually the real world will come crashing through and break up that wall of self-deception. Reality always asserts itself in the end. Reality always wins. Always. Every time, for everyone, one way or another. And when it does, if you've been as deluded as Dr. Raygun, your introduction to reality will be painful and terrible and likely very humiliating. Better to avoid that by living in reality all along. Better to help our loved ones avoid that by being honest with them. If only someone had done Dr. Raygun that favor. But they didn't. And that is why all the people around her, the people who could have told her that she sucks but didn't because they didn't want to hurt her feelings, they are the ones who are today canceled. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.